G'day guys, and welcome to another budget build. For those of you this may be your first time seeing one of our budget builds, basically what we do here is we take two copies of the most recent starter deck, in this case starter deck 13, and we combine them together and give you the most optimized build from the cards available to you just in the starter deck. If you guys want to see some optimized builds for this leader here, Luffy, or the other two leaders, Ace and Sabo, coming out of starter deck 13, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because they will be coming. But let's take a look at Luffy's effect here. So Luffy, we believe, is probably the most powerful leader out of the three that are available in the starter deck. The most beginner friendly is probably the Sabo. So if you guys want to see a build, if you are a brand new player, let us know in the comment section down below. Also, feel free to join our Discord. We'll post up some stuff there as well if you want. But let's take a look at Luffy. So Luffy is a black-yellow leader, 5,000 power, 4 life. All cards in this deck are yellow, so that black portion doesn't really matter too much here. The effect here, there's an alternate condition here to begin with, which says your face-up life cards are placed at the bottom of your deck instead of being added to your hand according to the rules. Initially, you might think, oh, that doesn't really matter, but the second part of the effect makes that first part of the effect very relevant. So the other portion of Luffy's effect is Don times 2 activate main once per turn. Trash one card from your hand. If you have 0 life cards, add up to 2 characters with a cost of 5 from your hand or your trash to the top of your life face up. So a great way to go from 0 to 2 life, very handy. But when you do take damage, instead of you being able to add them to your hand, they're going to go bye-byes to the bottom of your deck. But there are a few ways that you can then trigger out those characters from your life, which we'll go over in the deck profile in just a moment. If you haven't seen our opening of this deck as well, feel free to go and check that out. We'll probably leave that up in the card for you there as well. So Luffy, basically, you don't mind taking a lot of hits early. You're comfortable being at 0 life. You can easily go to 2. Helps you find those pieces that you need to get some good aggression. There's great ways to make Luffy a 7 and 9k leader for your opponent's turn with some of the cards here, which can quite easily happen. All right, first of all, let's take a look at kind of like the bread and butter combos of this deck here. So first of all, we're running a full play set of the Little Monkey D Luffy. So it costs you 2,000 power, 1,000 counter. Activate main, you trash this character, reveal the top card of your life. If it's a 5 cost Luffy, you can play that Luffy out, and then your leader gains 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So we'll see a version of Sabo and of Ace, which have the exact same effect, except for Ace and Sabo. But the Luffy that you will be able to play out of in this deck is the Big Boy Luffy, 5 cost, 6,000 body, 1,000 counter. So we're running a full play set of this guy. Activate main once per turn. This character gains 2,000 power until the start of your next turn. Then if you have 1 or more life cards, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from the top of your life. So Luffy's effect, you can use Luffy's effect when you're on 0 life. You can get that 2k buff. So it's not a requirement to be able to trash and draw to be able to get that 2k buff, so keep that in mind. So it can be really handy, especially when you're on 0 life. You have this Luffy out, you can buff him up to 8k, then trigger your leader's effect to get 2 more life back. You still have that buff. That buff just doesn't disappear because you've activated that effect. And if you find out Luffy is the top of your life, it's not bad to kind of take that life and that draw early. You're getting 2 cards and you're going down closer to 0 life, so you can use Luffy's effect, making sure you've got cards in there that you want to be able to see. And early game, don't be afraid to counter with the bigger versions of the characters, because you don't mind if they're in trash, because we can use them with Luffy's effect. You don't really want to counter out with the little guys, because they'll be able to get you some good leader power increases later on in the game. Next up, we're going to look at the Sabo version of that little Luffy. So exact same effect as we mentioned before. But it lets you play out this Sabo right here. So this is a 5 cost, 6,000 body, 1,000 counter. On play, you can trash 1 card from the top or bottom of your life, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So this one is a cost requirement. You do have to have life to be able to trigger out this Sabo's effect. So it is better used early game. It's probably the one that I use the least out of the other guys. Mainly just use there as a bit of extra life or a bit of extra counter power right there. But sometimes does come in handy to be able to remove some pesky characters on board. And then lastly, we're running a full playset of the Ace, which is the same thing as the Luffy and the Sabo. It lets you play out an Ace from life with 5 cost, which is this Ace right here. So 5 cost, 7,000 power, which is nice. No counter though. On play, if we have 2 or less life cards, this character gains Rush. So that's really good as it works well with this Luffy's effect. So once you get to 0, you can go up to 2, you can use the ace in those 2, and then you can bring him out with the little ace, and then you've got a rush character on board, which is really handy. So ace, yeah, definitely MVP in this deck right here, as well as the big boy Luffy. Next up, we're going to look at the searches of the deck, which basically find all the pieces we just looked at. We're running a full play set of Garp. So Garp costs you 2,000 power, 1,000 counter. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Sabo, Ace, or Luffy with a cost of 5 or less. Add it to your hand, and then the rest go to the bottom of your deck in any order. And then we're running 2 copies of the Three Brothers Bond, exactly the same effect. And the trigger is you can use the same search effect there, which is nice. Next, we're just going to look at some tech cards we're running in the deck. Was basically only 2 tech cards, really. We're running 2 copies of the Shanks. So Shanks cost you 7,000 body, no counter. On play, you turn one of your face-up life cards face down. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, trash up to 1 card from the top of their life. So that's really handy. Good into some matchups. Some decks do like to run a big hand size, others don't. So good in those decks with the big hand size, and it's usually going to be played late game because it's a 7 cost character. So it's something that kind of catches your opponents off guard. If you don't like this, you can just run another 2 copies of the Three Brothers Bond just for extra consistency for finding your main characters there. Or you can also swap it out for one of the counter events, which we will talk about later on in the deck profile. Alright, let's talk about our 2k counters. We have 8 of them, which is nice. So we're running a full playset of the Yamato 5 cost, 4,000 body, rush, on play. Look at all your life cards, place one at the top of your deck, and the rest go back in your life in any order. So it can be used as a finisher late game. Great way to kind of figure out what's in your life. You don't mind negging yourself a life because of Luffy's effect. Generally, you don't want to do that in this case because you won't see the card. But another reason why I'm maxing out on this because it's a 5 cost character, so it can be put into life with Luffy's effect. The next 2k counter that we're running a full playset of Makino. Cost you 1 0 power. On play, add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Look at all your life cards and then place them back in your life in any order. So this one's a little bit better to play out versus Yamato because you actually get to see the card, you get to keep it rather than just drawing it next turn. But most of the time, both of these cards are just used as 2k counters. Moving on to more of our defensive options that we have in the deck, we're running a full playset of the blocker Ivankov. Costs you 3, 4,000 body, 1,000 counter. On play, you can trash 1 card from the top and bottom of your life, reveal 1 character with a cost of 5 from your hand, and add it to the top of your life face down. So it helps you put the Ace, Sabo, or Luffy in your life, and then you'll be able to trigger it out with the little guy. So it helps you get some good board presence, some good removal, good aggression early on. And the other blocker that we're running a full playset of is Curly Dadan. Is a 5 cost character, which is why we're maxing out on, because another target for Luffy to be put into life. 4,000 power, 1,000 counter. On play, you can play 1 Sabo, Ace, and Luffy with a cost of 2 from your hand. So you can spam out the little guys quite nicely and potentially get the 3 big versions of them out. It's very rare. You can probably get 2 out at some stage once you know what your life is from Luffy there. But yeah, some good board presence can be had there. Otherwise, just another target to put in life or can be used as a blocker. And the final 2 cards in the deck, also some defensive options that we're running, is 2 copies of Flame Dragon King. This is a counter up to one of your leader characters gains 4,000 power during the battle. Then you look at all your life cards and then you place them back in your life in any order. So actually a fairly good one to use early game, so you get to figure out if you have any of your big Sabo, Ace, or Luffy's in there, so then you can trigger them out earlier than waiting till you have 0 life and then playing them into life with Luffy's effect there. The trigger is you get to add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand, and then you get to put a card from your hand into your life at the top of it face down. So great way to once again know where your bigger characters are. Alright, there is the deck in all its glory. Let us know what you think of it down in the comment section down below. If you want to see some budget versions with the other 2 leaders, their builds will be slightly different. They won't be exactly the same here. So if you want to see that, let us know in the comment section down below, or let us know in our Discord, which is linked in the description down below as well. But thank you so much for checking out today's video. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you all in the next one.